it gets frustrating. I've heard it a lot, and I've felt it myself. You feel there's something higher, a higher meaning and purpose to your life. And then God just seems to abandon you when you need Him the most. That's how it was for me for over a decade. I was suffering. I would even call it torture at times. You know, the back surgeries that I had and the pain of the damaged nerve that I had, that was just scratching the surface, because it spiraled into something so much more awful. I mean, it was really a living nightmare at times. It ruins your happiness at home. It ruins any kind of social life that you might have. It just is constant suffering, and it seemed to be really no break in it. Looking back, I realized so many things that I missed, that God was really with me all along. But when you're in the war, when you're in the fight, you don't see the details of what's going on around you. All you're doing is trying to survive. You're going on your instincts of what you've known, what you've trained for, just to try not to get killed, and just to try to make it. That's why in times of war or times of strife in your life, you might feel like you can't really have time to search for that higher meaning. You don't really have time to sit and ponder why we're here and what we're meant to do. That is a time when God is preparing you. And that was one of the, if not the greatest things that happened from my, spiritual awakening, enlightenment, rebirth, whatever you want to call it. When God came to me and spoke clearly to me for the first time. He showed me exactly why I had to go through every single bit of suffering in my life. He showed me purpose and meaning. And I didn't think that was even possible. I knew there was something higher, and I chased it through so much of my life. And then I kind of just gave up on it because I was chasing it the wrong ways. And I realized that I just did a short video, and I realized that you have to be humbled. You have to learn patience and just be broken down to the point where you just completely surrender. Because if you still are holding on to that ego and those inner demons are still whispering in your ear, it's kind of like the cartoons where the little angel and the demon are on each shoulder and they whisper to you. That's really kind of a great metaphor for what happens in real life. You have your heart, not your physical heart, but your spiritual heart that guides you with light and compassion. And then you have your ego, which guides you with selfishness and darkness. It's not easy. And certainly nothing good ever is easy. In fact, the harder the video game, the harder the challenge, the harder you train in sports, the more fulfilling it is when you reach the goal, when you reach the end of it. But it's not, you have to learn that it's not about getting to that goal. You have to learn to enjoy the journey that you're on. Because no matter how much suffering you're in, there is beauty all around you. There's beauty in your life that you're just completely overlooking because your eyes are just clouded by that darkness. And before you even reach a point where you can open yourself up to surrender to God and just give yourself to Him completely, you can start living that positive life and start living with virtue. And I'm not saying that you got to go give up all the fun things you have and just live like a monk, or a nun. It's not like that. God calls some of us to be like that, sure. But you can start living to serve others and to find that beauty in life. Once you do that, everything changes. It really does. Your mind is so powerful because God gave you the power to change your reality. I've been thinking a lot about kind of spiritual gray areas in life. And I think a lot of, I don't even know if it's considered New Age spirituality, but they have a thing called manifesting reality. I think it kind of came into mainstream kind of in the early 1900s, but it was around before that. And then I believe it was Oprah had some lady who wrote the book The Secret, and then it just blew up and everybody just started saying, oh, we can manifest our reality. We can manifest our wealth and our fame and our fortune and everything that we want in life. We can manifest it. And you know what? It's true. You can manifest just about anything that you want in life. You put your focus on something completely and you will at least get close to obtaining everything that you wanted from that goal. But here's the thing, and I'm not one of those people who are so, I've heard Christians saying that a lot of New Age spirituality is the work of demons, and apparently I watched some video where some girl was like channeling actual demons. So, I don't know what she was expecting there, but when it comes to something like manifesting reality, to me, that's a spiritual gray area. Because I think God wants you to know, I've got my like a little carpenter bee flying around me, coming to say hello. God wants you to learn that you can do whatever you put your mind to. I've learned that several times in my younger life, and I still, even though I accomplished the things I was trying to accomplish through sports and weightlifting and losing weight and all kinds of stuff that I just put my mind to it and I just accomplished it. Well, that focus is a great thing to learn. That was sort of manifesting reality, like they say in New Age spirituality. But that manifesting it's a tool that can work for or against you. Now, let's say that you want to be rich. You just want nothing more than to have all the wealth and all the fame, and you just want to just be high rolling, living the life like you see on reality shows or whatever on TV, all the celebrities. If you put your focus to that, you can get to that point. If you don't give up on yourself and you keep pushing and pushing, you will obtain that goal. It might take a long time, but patience is the key in manifesting your reality. There's actually psychological studies to back up this claim of manifesting. Now, you have to realize that if you manifest something like that wealth, it's very likely that you will obtain the wealth, but you will obtain it and you will learn a harsh lesson when you get it. Like, let's say you really, you love your parents and you just want to manifest that wealth, and then your parents die and then leave you a bunch of money. Maybe you didn't even know they had. So now you've lost the people you love, the people who raised you and nurtured you but you have that money, so you got what you wanted, you got what you put that focus on. Or let's say that you find a way to get that money in a different way, and you think everything's going great. Then you realize, hey, I can't find anyone who really loves me for me anymore. They only want me for my money now. They want me for my toys and my wealth or my status. That is some of the harsh lessons you learn in life. Now, I really wanted to hit on the point that the greatest thing that God showed me during that enlightenment was the meaning of my suffering. That was the absolute number one question that I had. That at first it didn't really matter. At first I was just like, this is amazing. Like, this inner peace that I have it's better than, it blows drugs out of the water. It blows love out of the water, compassion out of the water. Anything great that you felt in life, it is way beyond that, because it is love like you've never known before. And that peace just guides you, because you understand finally that there is something after and there is meaning. And really, he didn't start revealing the reason for that suffering until quite a bit later. As I've explained before, my enlightenment moment, my rebirth, is a gift that I've only started to unwrap the paper on it at this point. There's so much more. And as I get into the box of all the gifts that it gave me, I'm learning so much about so many things that I've wondered about, because he shows me what I need to know so I can help others who are in that same situation, because that is my meaning. I had to live in pain. I had to live with the just endless suffering of all different types, mental, physical, and spiritual suffering. I had to go through each specific thing the way I did. And the reason for that is because how am I supposed to help someone else? If that's my meaning, to help others who are trapped and lost in their own hell, how am I supposed to help them if I couldn't even relate to what they're going through? So you might be sitting there suffering now, being like, this is meaningless, this is awful. I had a comment I just read that the lady's sister seems to be showered with everything that she wants. And everyone knows people like that. They seem to get everything they want, and their lives seem to be so amazing. Well, first of all, we've never walked a mile in their shoes, but hey, maybe it is amazing to them. Maybe they are having a grand old time with their toys and their money, and they have people around them that seem to love them. We don't know. We don't know for sure what is going on in those people's heads, or what is going on deep in their lives. Even our family, we don't know. Even our spouses and our children, we really do never know. Are they going through some sort of depression? Do they have some sort of mental condition that makes them, maybe they have bipolar and they've never been diagnosed? Who knows what they're going through? But we see these people and we see, oh, well, why are they getting all these things, and why am I suffering like this? And so many are doing so great. That is because you are being prepared for what your purpose is. And no matter what you may feel, we all need purpose in life. We all have a deeper meaning in life. We all need to know the meaning of what we are doing on this planet. That is the true question that philosophers have been asking since the beginning of time, the beginning of man. It's such a deep question, and to me it was revealed just so easily, and it all made sense because I had to go through that suffering so I could help people maybe like you. If you're stuck in your own hell and I'm supposed to help you, how am I supposed to get there? I was texting with my nephew, an awesome guy. He turned into an amazing man. And we were discussing this a little bit, and I was telling him, I kind of think of it like I'm a park ranger in the harshest, craziest wilderness you can imagine. Let's say it's maybe in Jurassic Park or something, if Jurassic Park was real. So somebody's trapped in the, I don't know, the T-Rex area of the park, and they're just waiting to be rescued. And that's like you trapped in your hell. And so how am I supposed to get in there and try to pull you out of that situation, that hell that you're stuck in, if I have no idea how to get around or fight a T-Rex or, neutralize the dinosaurs that might be in the area or whatever, you can, if you don't like that analogy, think of it like a park that's in rural Alaska that, there may be grizzlies there. How am I supposed to get to you, survive those harsh winters and those harsh conditions, and find you and rescue you if I don't even know how to deal with the cold or grizzlies or wolverines or whatever could attack me, mountain lions? How am I supposed to do that if I have no knowledge of how? And where's the credibility of me telling you that I could do that for you? There's no credibility in that. Now, obviously, I'm not meant to save everyone. I'm meant to save specific people that God leads me to. If you're watching this, you may be one of them. Maybe my words are meant to help you, but I can tell you for sure that at least in my case, and I know that not everyone has spiritual awakenings, not everyone connects with God, but maybe the ones that suffer are the ones with a higher purpose. Maybe they're the ones who are meant to be a spiritual guide or leader or healer or whatever. There are so many different ways of serving God and so many different purposes that we have. So maybe that's your purpose. Maybe you're supposed to do something like I am. Maybe I'm supposed to help you. It might be only you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to help 1 or 1,000,000 people, or maybe it's even no one. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding it, and there's some other purpose that God will reveal to me. But if I help you, and maybe you're supposed to be a leader, a spiritual leader that brings millions to God, then that to me is worth all the suffering in the world, because the peace and purpose that I've felt is absolutely powerful. And I hope that you understand and you hold on to that hope as you're suffering, because it might take some patience, and it's going to take patience, and it's going to take maybe even more suffering than you've already been through. But when you get to that place, when you've broken down and you don't know what else to do, and you're ready to surrender completely, God will come to you and God will show you the path. He might show you in a different way than he did me. It might be more clear or less clear, or maybe just in little coincidences that happen in your life. But he will show you. And if you are watching and you really are ready to surrender completely to him, it will all become clear and it will all be worth it. Okay, God bless.